Let's see here. Light animation, porch, density. And then let's change it to kind of a orange color. All right, there you go. You guys see that?
So fancy.
Yeah.
Yo.
Okay.
I do have a question.
All right. He says, "What is your question?"
How shall we address you, the hospitable host? I hope you guys didn't already do that.
Wait, you hope you what?
No, do you guys or like ask his name and stuff already?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah. So how would you like us to address you?
Should his name be like Bob or something?
Chieftain Bob. Chief Bob.
I don't like his
Chief
name right now,
Bob.
so let me change it.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
What's he changing it to?
Heisenberg.
It should be like John or like Kai or something.
His name is going to be Rojin.
Oh,
Rogan.
Dude, it sounded like Rogin. So I was like, okay, let's just change it to Rojin so it sounds less like it.
Okay.
Dude, I have so many people with Rogue in their fucking names.
You do.
Because it's just a rogue
I
arc.
do.
the rogue.
Alright, anyways. He says, "You can just call me Chief Rojin."
I nod.
Very well. Then I will begin. So, at this point, right, he kind of claps his hands nearby the fire, and you see the fire kind of start to take shape. Um, it starts to take the shape of a humanoid. There was once a human king who was named King Ottomon. He was a glorious king, very benevolent, and willing to do anything for Everspire. Everspire used to be a kingdom full of green, once ever so bright, full of flowers and greenery and water and springs. Those were the days that he sought to protect. But one day, he met a formidable foe. Rather, a breed of foe has re-emerged from ancient times even further than him. They are known as the Ice Dragon Clan. You see, the leader of the Ice Dragons, Medulla, sought to encase the entire world in his his domain of ice. In other words, to freeze the entire world full of ice. Now King Atamon was not going to let that happen. So a war erupted between the kingdom and these dragons. Though fewer in number, as you may have heard of the tales of a might of the human race could only hold on for so long before succumbing to it. In a matter of a week, half of Everspire was filled with blizzards and snow, completely frozen. And so Lord Atumon became more desperate to protect what is his. You see, he started looking into the dark arts, looking into the history of who could stand up to these dragons. Because as they say, they were once sealed. Then that means somebody has to have defeated them before. So King Atamon turned to his necromancers of the land and depended on them to gather everything that they know, gather all the information. But doing such a thing, he took on the power of the undead, the spirits, which is not such a simple feat for him. It corrupted him. It changed his mind. His generals, his leaders, his country, they all started to see him become a monster of his own. They questioned if this was the right thing to do. And all this did was agitate him. So at this point, right, you see the flames kind of like take the shape of a bunch of like dragons and like this Death Knight figure kind of like standing up to them on top of like a mountain, right? And I guess you can kind of say like it's almost like he's using like a shape fire instead of shape water. But yeah, you see a Death Knight figure on top of this mountain, standing up with a bunch of figures behind them, like thousands and thousands of figures, raising their swords and bows towards these dragons that would just send their icy breath right at them. And as they fight, right, you see that these figures behind them would instantly collapse, but then they would get up right after. These were not humans anymore that were fighting the dragons. This was his undead army. And so the chieftain then continues to speak. He says, "Then, at the sacrifice of his own humanity, his kingdom has forsaken him. And as such, he became only agitated. his mental state deteriorated, and eventually he was consumed by his power. He sought to destroy the thing he was trying to protect by turning everyone he could to an undead in order to take down these dragons. He thought if he could take down the dragons and adversary, then the rest of the world would be safe. To him, this is a noble effort. And so the days went on where the humans would be hunted down by the undead army, and yet also hunted down by the dragons. And this would go on to a vicious cycle, until one day, Atumon amassed enough power to fight Medulla head-on. Medulla, the king of the ice dragons. Eventually faced Atumon. And as people have described it, for the few humans that were able to witness this, was the Regid tribe, my forefathers. They were able to witness King Atumon, Dark Lord Atumon, sacrifice himself to seal this dragon. And so, Everspire, that was once a giant ice cliff, went from ice to snow as Lord Atumon's sacrifice has been but nothing but a waste. For you see, he intended to seal away the same way that the undead have long, long ago. But you see, Medulla was stronger than he was before. Medulla was prepared for such a seal to be placed on him again. And such, it is not as strong. Medulla is still sealed. But his powers still seep through that cage, forever laying Everspire under a blanket of snow. That is the end of that story, but I imagine you have questions.
Thank you for telling us. Do you know the whereabouts of this Medulla? This creature you speak of?
He is sealed off in a particular location that we refrain from telling people, but not just for secrecy, but for their own safety as well. You see, Medulla's power is so strong that it prevents many, many things from coming into life in his cursed snow. But also, if you get too close to him and you're not mentally prepared, it will take its effects on you. And if you're not ready for those, then surely you might freeze.
Fuck, I mean, we were barely strong enough to beat General Rogan, and that was with help.
And of course, we still have to deal with Lord Payne. It appears as if the enemies are endless. I stand up and then I point out of the tent covers into the snow and I say, if we kill all our enemies over there across the blizzard, will we finally be free?
Is that a Game of Thrones reference or something?
No, it's Attack on Titan.
Okay.
Titan,
Okay.
Umi,
Umida.
Umida. I
What is
say,
it like Fuyuda? I don't know.
something like that. I say, I fear even that may not be enough. This world is far bigger than we comprehend. The further we go, the more enemies we'll make. That is a guarantee.
Then we'll just have to kill them all, don't we?
Easier said than done. Like I said before, we barely managed to survive against that general.
But we're not dead yet. Perhaps fortune really is on our side.
They say bound by fortune we are, but we shouldn't always rely on luck.
I suppose you're right. I've heard of overzealous adventurers dying within the ethereal sea.
Alright, dude.
But I heard it was not a sea at all.
Okay. Alright.
I turn back to the chief and ask, then are you saying that to vanquish this great ice dragon, we will need to reclaim Matumon's power?
I do not know if Altamon's power is enough to even fight the dragon. I doubt it. The power he borrowed from lost once already. They would have defeated the dragon if they were strong enough. And yet, they lost again when Altamon tried. And if this Lord Payne that is actually trying to reattempt history, then he is a fool. For this will be the third failure of the undead army trying to overtake Medulla.
Well, surely Medulla won't expect it the fourth time. I'm just kidding.
How about how about the fifth?
I ask. Still, though, we will have to deal with Lord Payne one way or another. The truth is, we came here in search of one of a certain relic that once belonged to the king. A ring. Do you know of it?
Lord Ottoman has created many trinkets of great power. So then you see him kind of like use Shapefire to create a necklace. He says, there is his necklace, which gives him the strength and body that gives him so much power. And then he claps his hands, and the necklace turns into a ring. And then he says, and then there's Lord Ottoman's ring, which gives him the power to manipulate souls to a degree. With these two items, someone can surely almost replicate a fragment of Ottoman's power. But only a fragment. You see, one would have to be cursed by Ottoman in order to become him. Rather, Ottoman himself was cursed by a dark power. This dark power has taken on the name of whoever their host was. That's how he described it. Surely, it is nearly impossible to meet such a person. They wouldn't even be aware of it, I doubt it.
Why should it be so rare?
What do you mean, child?
Are you saying that the relics will only work with those who already possess the soul of Ottoman?
Indeed. They're but ordinary trinkets otherwise.
I kind of scratch my hair for a moment, and then I stand up, and I cast the Form of Dread, which part of its effect is visually, it like covers me in like it reflects the aspect of my patron. So you can say there's like bones and shit that form on top of me that look like Ottoman.
You see the chief get startled by this, right? At first.
I use up a charge just for the RP. Also, 10 HP. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Well, he's startled by this, right? As he kind of like takes it back as he and scoots backwards a little bit, right? But he sees that you're just trying to present to him that that you might be sharing this patron that he's speaking of, and he's saying, "Are you saying that Automon dwells within you?"
Yes, but not just me. Lord Payne has inherited his power as well. He seeks to take what's left of it back from me, but I will not allow it. I will consume him first.
Then this is a selfish request of me. But if you could, my tribe has witnessed humanity fail several generations now. And it is all because of this circle of trying to defeat Medulla. I think Lord Payne, you say, I think he's thinking about challenging Medulla again. I think that will only bring the end of the world as we speak. I would say it would be the end of Everspire for sure. You must stop Lord Payne. And I think the only way to do such a thing it is to destroy the ring or the amulet. Then no one can become Lord Automon.
But if we do that, isn't there no one left to oppose Medulla?
That I have no answer for. But I know that turning to the dark arts, it is not the answer. It only corrupts you. King Altamon, in his humane times, he was no easygoing king. He achieved many great things and carried the weight of the world. But even his will was bent.
Well, I don't think we're trying to become kings of the world or anything like that, but if they truly hold that much power, I think using the dark is worth consideration.
Indeed. Do the ends not justify the means?
I say, we, my people, we've done, I'd argue, just as many terrible things to the orcs that they've done to us. We've used dark powers to be able to hold them at bay. I don't see this as any different. If I must sacrifice a part of my soul to save thousands of others, I will do so.
But that is precisely my case. This power that has been sacrificed for. There was an undead army in the past, and they lost to Medulla. Then Ottoman arrived. He sacrificed his people, the people he was trying to protect, and still lost to Medulla the same way. And then yet again, history repeats. Lord Payne, you said he was creating an undead army. These are the people he's trying to protect back then. No one is immune. No one is able to control such power. It does not belong in this world to be used in such a way. At least it should be sealed off or broken.
But we won't know until we try, right? I feel like this power that I have already is like a part of me. You know what? I think I'm built different.
Oh my
What would you say, Owen?
I said I'm built different.
Okay. I see, quite so. And I grab your flimsy little arms.
I use my send a Viston and move away from you.
Oh my god.
Then
Wait, this explains
I ask
everything.
you,
He's a
why
cyber
do
psycho.
you go for the ring? Why not the amulet as well?
Well, I was hoping to go for both. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've been told that you know the location of the ring. Do you know of the amulet as well? We can reach both before Lord Payne does. Well, you'll stand no chance.
The
You will be
amulet.
powerless before me.
The amulet was lost in history. Ever since King Ottoman sacrificed himself. But the ring, in truth, I don't know the exact location. But I know how you can find it. You say you are a host of Ottoman's soul. Is that right?
Yes.
Then if that is true, he can tell you the answer. He knows where he placed that ring. And he would know where the amulet is as well. You would have to tap into his memories. Can you
I
do
see.
that?
I can try. Sometimes I see him, you know, and I speak to him in my dreams. And it
But
feels
you
so
s-
visceral.
But at the same time, you said you and Lord Pain both share his soul. Does that have any effect on his memories?
Now that you mention it, he did say he was incomplete without his other half. That once merged, he may be different.
Then you might have drawn the short end of the stick here. He might have gotten the half that knows.
And I'll simply have to get it out of Lord Pain.
So you remember vaguely that General Rogan mentioned Lord Pain was looking for the amulet. But you also remember that Rogan said Lord Pain was struggling to even get an idea where the ring is. And then the chieftain asks you, is there anything else you know about the amulet and ring? What is Lord Ottoman? Or rather, sorry, Lord Pain. What is he doing now?
I recall that. Well, I've been informed that he is looking for the amulet. That he does not know the location of the ring.
Then, perhaps your fragment of his soul. Perhaps it knows, or perhaps the memories lie dormant.
Then next I sleep, I will make sure to get the location from him. He will tell me if we are to succeed. Together, of course.
Hey, I know of a ritual that might help bring back such memories. Are you interested in trying it?
Yes, please tell me.
It is a process where you can invoke old memories from your patron. In essence, you would go to a familiar location where that patron has strong feelings. It will invoke his strongest memories. And in that moment, you will have full control and vision over such memories. I can bring you to Medulla's cell, and we can carry this wretched ritual.
Then let us do so.
But you must remember, those who are not ready for Medulla's wrath, rather, his presence, will simply freeze to death. My tribe has trained themselves over the generations for such a thing. I am barely able to last that long. But you might be able to do it for a long amount of time. And I would dare say, with the help of a necromancer, you might be able to share that with the rest of your group.
Look
And
over
then
to
Freva says, well, it does not sound, oh, for goodness sake, sure, I can try it. I don't know if it will work, but I will give it my best. And you see her just kind of like take a sigh, and then the chieftain says, well, to have a necromancer in your group and someone as well who has a fragment of the soul of Atumon, well, your group is quite the bunch. Then, I suppose we can try this ritual, but it will take a lot of preparation. First, you will need to undergo mental training. I do not advise skipping it, as you only have one chance to try this. There's a certain area far in the mountains where you must self-reflect. And the magical energies will invoke the strongest emotions. You must find yourself in this trial. Would you be willing to partake this trial first?
If it ensures we are successful, then yes. Of course.
Then, I suppose we can begin. Okay, so then he says, but I must warn you, should you find this ring, Lord Pain will surely find you. Will you be ready?
We don't really have a choice, do we? We have to be ready.
I nod
Then-
my head and say, indeed. In fact,
Then-
it saves us the trouble of finding him.
Then I will pass you down some wisdom. There is a secret to Lord Ottoman's weakness. But only he can tell you that. You must find that weakness. I have heard many rumors from past generations. That if you can destroy one of the artifacts, it will hamper your process of of attaining the full power of Dark Lord Atamon. But at the same time, it will weaken Atamon himself. But the secret is how to destroy the ring or the amulet. I will say this much. Although I disagree that you should take on the power of such a dark force, I will not stop you. But if you truly wish to defeat Lord Pain, who seems to have more of Lord Ataman's soul within him, then I would suggest you break the ring. It will weaken Lord Pain and Lord Ataman. Technically, it would weaken you too, but you do not possess as much of Dark Lord Ataman's soul within yourself. He would lose far more than you. And in that moment, that is when you can strike.
That is good to know. Hmm. Perhaps. Well, we will find a way. No matter how it is, I will destroy Lord Pain. This next encounter will be our last.
As it is right now, with him looking for the amulet, and you not having the ring, I would avoid him at all costs. But once you destroy that ring, you have a chance to fight him. And if you still want Dark Lord Ataman's power, then becoming whole with the soul, completing him, will bring you to that. The amulet and the ring, they expedite the process, but they are not necessary for you to completely master it. Do you understand?
I see. It doesn't matter how it happens. As long as I have enough power to defeat Lord Pain, that will be enough.
Very well. Then you must learn of the ring's location. That is the first thing. And then you must learn how to destroy the ring. There are many people who have tried to destroy it in past generations, but it is not so simple.
Well, where should we start?
I have an idea for finding how to destroy the ring, but leave that to me. What you should do is prepare for the ritual, and for that, you must undergo the trial in order to mentally prepare yourself first. Once you have finished the trial, then I will conduct the actual ritual itself. With the help of your friend here, your necromancer friend. And having training yourself, your party and I should be able to go to Medulla's cell and invoke Dark Lord Ottoman's memories. Somewhere in those memories, you will find where the ring is. And from there, we can find our next plan. But for now, I must reach out to everyone that I know. Find how to destroy the ring. Okay, so I'm just gonna mark this older quest as complete, and then you have a new quest right here.
Oh, part 3. Best part.
Yo, what the
It's true.
debatable.
It
Alright,
is the best
so-
part.
So for the trial itself, I made a separate quest for it, so it could be tracked a little bit easier right here. So he says, to partake in the wretched trial, you must journey to the mountain. You will behold the old god mountain and find an altar. In this altar, you must concentrate on your spirits. This will attract the haunted towards your soul, and so you must trust your companions to protect you as you channel. Stay steady and clear. Your concentration must remain true for a whole minute, or the trial will be prolonged with interference. And once a mind of focus has passed, only then can you face what is truly holding you back the most from Medulla's cell. Do you
I looked.
understand?
I nod and look to the rest of my group and say, "Oh, it seems as if our path is clear."
Does Raylan have to be the one to make contact with this old god?
Yes. She is the one who possesses Ottoman's soul.
Well then, clear enough. But I'm afraid of what these apparitions, nightmares might be.
So at this point, he kind of opens the tent, right? The door of the tent, and then he just tells you guys. Then I suppose this is farewell for now. You have a lot to do, and so do I.
Thank you for your assistance. It was most invaluable. Know that with it, we will do much good in this world.
I entrust the fate of Elderspire to all of you.
Then why have you trapped us in this tent?
It's an ambush. Attack.
Okay, alright.
Oh, we got booted now.
Keep us
Wow.
fucked up.
That's exactly it.
Look at
What
your
a
face.
what a cold
Okay,
hose. Not
okay,
hospitable
alright.
at all.
I'm gonna call a break here.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's good.
Yeah.
You guys like that lore dump, dude?
Hell yeah.
Dude.
I'll
Dude,
watch
that-
it all later.
It was a little painful trying to type all that.
Oh
Dude,
shit.
you take a note.
Yeah. He's just
I
showing-
had I had an entire page of just notes.
Goddamn.
Page
Yeah.
and a half.
I can't wait for you to share all the notes with the class once once the
Oh
whole
God.
once the series is over.
Oh God.
How many of you guys are actually gonna rewatch the replay just so you can retain the story better?
I'll read James's notes.
You reach my notes.
I mean, I'll be watching the video later, yeah. But I don't know about retaining it. That's a different story.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna bear back, dudes.
Yeah.